Arcadian Vanguard presents The Wrestling News in your daily wrestling newscast for Monday, September 23rd, 2024. Good morning, I'm Mike Sempervive. We begin with some news on Dustin Rhodes starting up a new independent promotion. In a social media post on Sunday, Rhodes stated that the Rhodes Wrestling Association will hold its first show on Sunday, November 21st in Leander, Texas. Titled Texas Fall Fury, the event will take place at the Rhodes Wrestling Academy, which began as a training center for wrestling hopefuls in 2020. Rhodes currently holds half of the Ring of Honor World Tag Team Championship alongside Sammy Guevara, as well as the ROH World Six-Man Tag Team title alongside Marshall and Ross Von Erich. In WWE-related news, Seth Rollins made an appearance at the National Football League game between the Chicago Bears and Indianapolis Colts yesterday inside Lucas Oil Field in Indianapolis, Indiana. In a bit that aired on the screens inside the stadium, Rollins, who is a big fan of the Chicago Bears club, was in the stands where he got into a confrontation with former Colts wide receiver T.Y. Hilton. To the delight of the home crowd, Hilton dumped Rollins over the barricade onto the pitch. Rollins then played up being taken to the back by security as Hilton played to the crowd. Rollins has not been seen on WWE television since being laid out in an injury angle by Bronson Reed on August 5th. The Indianapolis Colts won the game, beating Rollins' Bears by a final score of 21-16. Turning to Mexico, CMLL ran their weekly Sunday afternoon show from inside their home building of Arena Mexico. In the main event, Mystico teamed with Soberano Jr. and Euphoria in a win over Esfinge, Valiente, and Volador Jr. In the only title match on the card, Titan made the 9th defense of his CMLL welterweight title reign, turning back the challenge of Viano 3 Jr. in 17 minutes and 52 seconds. Titan has held the welterweight crown since December of 2019. In another notable result from the show, Flip Gordon, Dragon Rojo Jr. and Neon put down the team of Barbaro Cavernario, Star Jr. and Terrible in a Relevos Increíbles six-man tag team match. And taking a look from around Japan, in the main event of Stardom's show in Kaminoyama on Sunday, Tam Nakano, Natsupoi, and Saoriano retained the Artist of Stardom tag team title with a win over Natsuko Tora, Saya Kamatani, and Ruaka. All Japan's 11th annual Royal Road Tournament came to an end on Sunday inside Tokyo's Korakuen Hall, with Ren Abe coming out victorious by defeating Ryuki Honda. Earlier in the show, Ayabe had beaten Rei Saito to advance to the final, while Honda had upset Kento Miyahara. And in the Makuhari section of Chiba City, Tokyo Joshi Pro held their Wrestle Princess 5 event, which featured 3 title matches and was capped off by Miyu Watanabe defeating Ryo Mizunami in the main event to retain the Princess title. And before we leave you today, we'd like to remind you that however you consume your content, you can find the wrestling news 24 hours a day and 7 days a week across social media. On Twitter, follow us at Wrestling News AV. Our Facebook page is also Wrestling News AV. The Wrestling News can also be found on the Arcadian Vanguard YouTube page. And for those who utilize Amazon Echo devices, just tell Alexa to play the Wrestling News podcast. And remember to make sure you add podcast at the end. Once again, for daily updates, breaking news, and more, follow the Wrestling News across social media. And that's the news for today. If anything happens, we will be here to tell you about it. No clickbait, no paywall, just the Wrestling News. The Wrestling News is a division of Arcadian Vanguard, and the Wrestling Newscast is a production of the Arcadian Vanguard Podcast Network.